I'm going to disown you. I'm going to do it because I love you. Is this mind fuck? All right, welcome back to another video. Today we are breaking down Tim Skolds' Don't Pray For Me. This is a film clip which is intense. It's dramatic. It breaks into this self-destructive, rebellious energy that we expect from Skold, and it has a lot of edge to it. He's a very edgy boy. This is in celebration. Obviously, he's joined Marilyn Manson as the bassist, and I think that's a great placement for him. Let's look at this film clip. First, we're going to watch it through. Then I'm going to break down some of the visual elements and the symbologies that are scattered throughout the actual video clip. And then we're going to talk about some of the lyrics, and we're going to get a better picture of what this song is actually trying to say. So let's get into it. And that was it. That was Tim Skolds' Don't Pray For Me. It's very dark. It's very edgy. It's very bleak. It's very self-destructive. It's very rebellious against organized religion. On the surface, we can see all that plain as day. We're going to break down some of the visual elements that are scattered throughout the music video. Now we start with this. This is the back of the ambulance, which we saw Tim Skolds as the opening scene, the opening shot. He was in the back of it. He was in a obviously emergency care situation. Now, let's have a look at this number here, the 7-6. Now, a lot of people who study numerology can tell you that 7 is the number of man. 6 is the number of the devil. Now, if you go 7-6, what you're saying is man goes to the devil. This is like a warning. It's saying if you go from what you are into this construction of a satanic ideation, a devil ideation, do not follow. This is a self-destructive path. This is something that's going to cause you irreversible damage. Because as we go down the path of wanton destruction, knowing evil, self-destruction, as well as destruction of everything around you, this is what the devil represents. It represents death. It represents chaos. It represents harm. It represents everything that goes against order. It's important to hold a piece of this because it is a part of what we are. We are a little bit of chaos. We are a little bit of death. We are a little bit of self-harm. We are a little bit of wanting to harm others. And we all have this devil inside of us. But if you fully step into it, it's destructive. Don't follow that path. That's his warning. Let's move on. This bed scene I found very interesting. Just going to skip ahead here because now what we're seeing at his feet here, this is a over-the-counter paracetamol. It has a long name and it looks like it might be some sort of crazy drug, but it's not. This is just regular painkiller, like a Panadol, basically. But that's at his feet. So it's kind of saying that that's the start. This is how a lot of drug dealers get into opioids. They start with small ones and then they move their way up, and we can see that illustrated just ahead. Now we look in his right hand, we have oxycodone. This is a more advanced opioid. This is something that is causing hundreds of thousands of deaths in America. This is something that we have seen in the news. It's called the opioid crisis, and a drugged up USA, and so many people pass away from drugs. We've seen people like Michael Jackson, even, and like some of the big celebrity names that have taken too many of these, that have been overprescribed. And it's led to not just addiction, it's led to overdosing, and unfortunate people are perishing. But these are the more visuals. What you don't see is just, there's so many people that are going down that road. And I think this is Skold saying that this is a progression. You start with what's available, and then you go into the harder stuff, and then. So moving on here, idea was behind this. This is obviously Russian roulette. He's playing it with this guy. I'm not sure who this guy is. If you know who he is, let me know in the comments. I feel like I've seen him before somewhere. But yeah, for some reason, he's like, me and you, we're going to do this until one of us goes. I think it's just a visual element to make the film clip seem cooler, more like, oh, look at us, we're avant-garde, we're playing Russian roulette. It's like the edgiest thing you can do. I'm not sure if there's anything deeper than that going on here. Moving along here. Now, this is interesting. He, I think what he's trying to say here is like modern life is kind of like a war zone. If you can't handle where you're at, if you can't handle life, if you feel under attack all the time, if you feel unsafe all the time, it's kind of like going into the trenches. Obviously, being in the trench would be a lot more intense, but it's a really nice visual element. He's holding the grenade in his hands, in both hands. It's like, I've got this. This is a point of comfort almost. It's like, okay, so the environment is so bad, it's so stressful, so prolonged, so inescapable. This is my comfort. The thing that will destroy me. This can end my suffering. So yeah, this is again very bleak, very dark. He has a cigarette and then calms himself down and he goes, right, well, I'm going to release the pain of my life now. I'm going to end the suffering. We saw that a lot, actually, especially in World War One. People were being mustard gassed. They were going through months and months of just prolonged anxiety driving, where you got bombs and guns and everything around you. You're never safe. Imagine being in that state for such a long time. A lot of people used to just pop grenades, just go, or they'd use guns or whatever. But like that was actually quite a big problem during that period, especially late into the conflicts. And maybe he studied that, he read that and thought, oh, that's a nice symbol. I'll use that in my film clip to represent I'm going through prolonged anxiety. I'm going through prolonged complexes which I can't escape from. And so this is kind of like going to create a cathartic image of myself perishing here. Topton is gone. Now, I was very excited actually when I saw this. You notice that he's in a bathtub. Now, I don't know if he's organized this. The idea is that he organized this woman or not to actually do this. He might have in this visual, he might be saying, oh, I got really drugged up. I got into the bath and I hired a prostitute to drop this in here and get rid of me. Maybe that's another form of him wanting to perish in a creative way. But if we look at this hand here, move it along. Okay. Look at this on her ring finger. That is a symbol that I recognized. That if you have studied Gnosticism, then you may have heard of an idol called the Demiurge. Now, the Demiurge is the false god. It has the head of a lion, the body of a serpent. This is basically in Gnostic religion or ideology. It's the fake god that keeps us imprisoned in a perpetual state of suffering, and it feeds on our suffering. It's kind of like the Gnostic Satan, essentially. And it seems like what he's using here as a visual is that this Gnostic god has organized his demise, his suffering, and then demise, and then is pushing him into the unseen depths, the unconscious. It's making him destroy almost like it's a part of himself, and in that process, he loses himself. He loses his life. Yeah, so there's definitely something to look at there. That's interesting that he used that ring. Now, with this, it cuts from the gold ring to a gold gun, and it uses the same color white, that bone white that was seen in the papacy. I'm not sure if that's related, but it's almost like a Pope gun. I happen to remember that the papacy does have armaments, which is highly ironic for a church who's meant to have faith in a god to protect them and to keep them safe, yet they happen to have weapons. So he's got a lot of money, he's got a gun. Obviously, this is materialism. Maybe this is the part of him that wants to live only for the mere fact that there are material benefits to be had in this world. He's making a lot of money. He can go out and spend that, but when you have money, you're also afraid of losing it. And this guy's paranoid. He's looking through windows. He's looking through doors. He's got his gun. He's protecting it. Having a lot of money now makes you even more under threat when you view the world this way. Now, we see one of the bleakest images here. This is called seppuku. This is a Japanese warrior ritual. If you lose in battle, the last honorable thing that you can do, and quite often this is something that's facilitated on Japanese battlefields, or was back in the feudal era, if they respected you, they will throw a sword by your feet after they've disarmed you when you've been defeated, and you can take your own life. And this is an honorable thing to do. Um, so it's basically a symbol of, I have been defeated. I'm going to do the last thing I can do, which is honorable, and that's going to be end my own life with a sword like this. And you go straight into here, and you know it's a really horrible way to go, but that's how they used to do it. Yep. And lastly, what I want to say here is you'll notice that there are two beats in this music video. There is the bow 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 bow. This is kind of a heartbeat that you would see in someone who is heavily opiated, who's on the edge of death. The very heartbeat. It's about to go. And it contrasted with the heartbeat. That is someone who might be very high on some sort of upper, or has been running, or is under a high stress situation. And it's sort of bouncing and playing between those two beats through this whole thing. And the end of this, you can hear the beat. It's like fading. It's like the last heartbeat, just slowly getting quieter and more muffled, and quieter, more muffled. This is basically saying that I've eventually passed away in this ambulance. Yeah, it's very dark. It's a very bleak film clip. I don't think that he actually is suicidal, but I think that he wanted to put out what a lot of people have been going through, so that they can sort of live vicariously through it. Because a lot of his fan base obviously has dealt with depression, anxiety, things of a threatening nature, and that's why a lot of them are very attracted to the goth subculture, the metal industrial subculture. There's a lot of what music can do for you is insane. It's like you can live through it so that you don't have to do it yourself. The reason heavy metal is so aggressive and angry is a lot of these people have a lot of that aggression and anger in them, and they can channel it out of the music. This is a way of kind of like shadow work. It's kind of like you bring it to the surface so you can experience it, but the music will guide you through it. You can get this out and you can live it, and then it will diminish it. Ironically, some of the most cool, calm, collected, chill people on the planet are people who listen to the most heavy metal. Not always the case. Some of them are crazy, but yeah, in general, this is my experience with the heavy metal crowds. They're usually chill, cool people. It's because, but they've had really hard pasts. They've gone through a lot of very bleak things in their life, domestic violence or isolation, or being like picked on and bullied and that kind of thing. Yeah, but everyone needs an outlet. Everyone needs a place to get things out. Lastly, there's a couple of things that he was saying lyrically in there, which I thought was interesting. There's a phrase there that I really liked, and that was, I kiss my Judas one more time. There's something to be said about having an internal Judas, and I've never heard this phrase before, and I really like it because it's saying that when you kiss your Judas, you're saying that you are accepting and blessing and loving the part of you that betrays you. Again, why would you do that? Why would you accept the part of you that betrays you? Because every time that you reinvent yourself, you grow. Every time you do something that makes you stronger, you step out of your comfort zone into the uncomfortable, the chaos of the unknown in your life. You're actually betraying the part of you that wanted that safety and that security. You're betraying expectations by your parents. You're betraying society's expectations of you. All these things which were stable in your life, you're stabbing in the back, so to speak, when you go out and do something new or different. That's kind of like embracing your own inner Judas. And so when you kiss your Judas one more time, you're embracing change. You're embracing betraying a part of you in order to go into a new place again. I loved that. Here's something else that he said in the film clip. I die for your sin. It's like, I die for your sin. It's kind of like saying, I am continuously sacrificed so that your conscious identity can survive. This is something that makes me extremely angry about how some of these kids are raised in very religious households. And it should piss us all off that this is a standard that still happens in today's society. There's this mask that is adorned by hyper religious people. They escape into this ideology, mostly because they're too afraid to face their own vulnerabilities without the religion. They're afraid because they were told that they will burn forever in this hell and God hates them unless they. This is something that has terrified parents for a long time and has made them adorn a mask, a false self, in order to smile and be happy and God loves us, and inside they're terrified. And so they start to project onto their own children that if you don't put on the mask, if you don't suppress your genuine self, then I'm going to disown you. I'm going to do it because I love you. It's this mind fuck. And these kids have to go through this. And it's not right. It's a standard that we should not ever have allowed in our society. It's good to have inspiration, the idea of God and romanticism and the Bible, and there's some interesting stuff in there. There's some really good things that can be found in religion. Don't get me wrong. And I think that there's actually a far more beauty in religion than Christians can ever appreciate. But this pain that is put on and this expectation, this you must be false to survive, that is put onto the kids. I die for your sin. It's like saying that you're killing me with you suppressing me and making me hide myself away, and this is causing a deep set of trauma within me. This is, I love my parents, I'm supposed to love them and they're supposed to love me, but now there's all these rules and expectations and all this bullshit in the way, and now they're acting in complete judgment of me and condemnation of who I really am. I'm dying because you're a sinner. But ironically, they're calling him the sinner. They're projecting that onto him. Thought that was very interesting, and it could very well be that he was raised by very religious people. And that sort of message is still continued on with life is simple, life is sweet. The perspective from down on your knees will kill you from within. This is actually very kind of him to say. This is empathy towards those who are religiously bound. He's saying that they're harming themselves, they're killing themselves. When you're down on your knees and you're looking up at the world, you feel small, you feel terrified. You're not in a power, or you're not in a confident position in life. Now let's go to the very obvious. He's talking about, don't pray for me, I don't need your sympathy. He obviously on the surface it seems like he's saying, I don't want religion. But what he's really saying is, stop projecting your salvation fantasy onto me. A lot of people desperately seek to be saved, to be healed by God, to be fixed and awakened. But the real healing, actual healing, comes from sitting with your own pain, sitting with your guilt, sitting with your shame, embracing these parts of you that have caused you great damage in the past. And it's recognizing it's a part of you, or it's a natural reaction to what has been done to you. And it's in suppressing these things that we darken it. It's in suppressing these things that we give it even more pressure. But if you sit with it and allow it, you can depressurize. And that's where healing starts. This is what shadow work is. And yeah, so don't pray for me. Don't need sympathy. Don't need the way that you cope with your shit. I'm going to cope with things my way. I'm going to sit with these things. I'm going to embrace these things. He doesn't need a savior to save him. He needs to save himself. And if he keeps relying on the Christianity to save him, he ends up in the back of the ambulance. That's where it leads. That's where it leads for thousands of kids every year. Anyway, that's my quick breakdown of that film clip. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this is obviously one of the darker arts. I'm going to put a post at the bottom of this. Let me know in that what you'd like me to break down next, what you'd like me to dive into, and we can do that in a few days. All right, till next time.